Yo guys, this is the OnePlus 15 and this is the biggest change for OnePlus in a while. The design has gone from this to this. The photos no longer carry the Hasselblad logo and the OnePlus is leaning way more into AI with a brand new button. This is also the first major flagship with the Snapdragon Elite chip in the US and it has a massive 7000 plus battery size. So should this be your next phone? Curious about picking up the OnePlus 15 or just wonder how it compares to others? Stick around and let's get into it. What's up everyone? This year and just in the beginning of the year, OnePlus launched the OnePlus 13. It's been 10 months now. OnePlus is keeping the number 14 because it means battle like in Chinese and they dropped it. The 15 is the new flagship and it came a bit earlier than usual. First of all, let me start with the good news, the prices. The OnePlus 15 remains a great deal, undercutting all major US flagships at $900 for the 12 and 256GB model. I personally think that which cost of just $100 more in comparison, Apple asks $200 for a severe storage upgrade without any increase in ground. So on value, it's an easy win for OnePlus. You also get more in the box, as OnePlus is one of the last companies doing the charger for free. Also comes with the built-in screen protector, which is a nice touch, but there is no case visually. The design has changed a lot this year. It's a simpler and more generic look. And OnePlus has definitely lost some of its identity in the process with a matte finish which looks a bit muted. But that has the advantage of natural fingerprints on the back. Besides, matte is also a big change from the more striking glossy size 13. You also have a sandstorm color version and the violet one. The other change is the frame of the phone. It's flat now and it's made from aluminium, just like most other phones. The signature alert slider is also gone, and now replaced by a programmable action button. I have started to fear that in just a few years all phones will look exactly the same with these changes. Now as for durability, reviewers have been using the OnePlus 15 for about 2 weeks now and there are almost no scratches. Let's see how it holds up over longer use, but so far so good. OnePlus 15 is also the only major flagship that has both IP68 and IP69 protection. The 9 number, meaning it's protected against 2 long jets of water. Now I don't see a practical use for that, and OnePlus only says that if you somehow forgot your phone in your jeans and put them in the washing machine, the phone could survive. Yes, that's possible. But yeah, the 15 comes with a 6.8-inch display, which is now completely flat. One more change to work the generic look of every other phone now, but the flat screen is practical and it's much easier to fit a proper screen protector. The most controversial change is a slight downgrade in resolution, but honestly, in real life, I personally cannot see a difference. OnePlus was able to trade those few pixels for a bump in the refresh rate, going from 120Hz to whopping 165Hz. Which is buttery smooth to use. I think that's a nice trade-off. In tests, we measured some impressive numbers too. OnePlus 15 is the brightest ball we have ever tested, hitting 2500 nits brightness. That's an early 25 bigger number than the iPhone 17 or Pixel 10 series, which is great. Cover one issue I have with this display is just how reflective it is. Samsung and now Apple have both adopted anti-reflective screens. It is very noticeable. How OnePlus has not noticed it. That might be an even more important measure than just pure brightness. One other interesting number from our lab is for a minimum brightness, lower number here is better and it's easier on the eyes at night. But the OnePlus 15 can only go down to about 2 nits, which is still a bit too bright compared to iPhones. You then have some useful additions like Aquata, which also allows you to easily use your phone with wet fingers, and glove mode, which works better than any other devices. The other big news with the OnePlus 15 is that it marks the end of Hasselblad camera partnership for OnePlus. You would think that would be bad news and the drop in quality is expected, but I actually found the opposite to be true. It follows from the OnePlus 13 were quite over-sharpened and occasionally suffered from issues with dynamic range. The night ones also look too widely unrealistic. Like this, the OnePlus 15 brings things back to normal. Colors are much more balanced, detail is softer in a good way, and you just have a more consistent look. I also love the main camera photos are now 26 megapixels by default. Big upgrade in detail compared to 12 megapixel snaps. For colors, this cube bit warmer here and they're slightly more saturated than real life, which I actually don't mind. In video, the OnePlus 13 suffered from halo artifact and the 15 fixes that, plus it has slightly more pleasing colors. We're also happy to see 4K 120 support on the 15, perfect for Samsung motion action, and you can also use 4K 120 with the telephoto and the ultra-wide cameras, which is nice. There are some other small improvements. The shutter button and the camera app is now finally white like all other phones, but then OnePlus has removed the power button, double-click shortcut to open the camera, which is quite annoying as all other Android phones use that almost across all their devices these days. You can also take a regular picture and blur the background after the fact, but not on the OnePlus, again very annoying. Overall, I think the OnePlus 15 brings a welcome camera upgrade, but in the photo experience is still a few steps behind your iPhones and Galaxies. Next up, battery life. This is so exciting to see a 7300 mAh battery, massive. This phone is actually thinner than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This is a substantial increase in battery size compared to these mainstream flagships. We run our own battery tests for each phone and the OnePlus score, the big numbers on these tests. It has the first phone to score over 30 hours on our web browsing test and also got 12 hours and a half of continuous YouTube video streaming and 14 hours on our 3D gaming test. But what really matters is how all of this translates into real usage. Even with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which has very solid battery life, you typically top it up every day, but OnePlus 15 changes that. It's really a 2-day phone and this gives you peace of mind. It's really freeing and it helps that you have super fast charging too. 80 watts, much faster than other flagships. To measure that, it takes just 45 minutes to fully charge, it compared to more than an hour on the Galaxy S25 or iPhone 17. The only thing I really missed was cheap to magnetic charging. You do have 50 watts wireless AirPod charge, but I've got those so used to using magnetic chargers in my car. It's a bit of a bummer. That's for magnets, you need to use a case. Last but not least, let's talk performance. OnePlus 15 is the first major use flagship with the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip, and it's an absolute beast. We did not expect that kind of performance in the 3D Mark gaming test. The fall achieved nearly 99 stability. It's kind of really typically see on the very best gaming falls. We had to double check this result. But yes, it's indeed. And compare this to a Galaxy S25 Ultra over an iPhone, it's a night and day difference despite losing the Hasselblad brand. And despite the generic design, I think the OnePlus 15 is fantastic value for the money for a new phone. Don't forget that this one exists. Well guys, that is for this video. Thumbs up if you liked it and let me know down in the comments if you're tempted for the OnePlus 15 or not. Please also consider subscribing as it comes free for you but helps my channel. Till the next one, take good care of yourself and each other. See ya.